Welcome, all dear learners, in the second live of our academic writing course. This second live webinar is for basically focused on the uh, July 2022 cycle or semester, what you say, and we have so far covered our 8 week in which we have started with the academic English or the basic concept of academic writing. And then we moved the plagiarism and then the review management systems. And then we shifted our focus on the like this, like journal matrices and author matrices. And we, we covered review article. And now think because we have covered 8 weeks in our this journey of learning or journey of education, uh, it is quite possible to have uh, here and there confusion regarding the content. And you might have few queries which you want to just by the pioneers of this course, Rajesh Multi sir, and our course coordinator. So, firstly, I welcome Dr. Rajesh Multi sir in second live webinar. Myself, Lokesh Adhikari. I'm assisting as teaching assistant in this course. So time we try to answer your queries using the discussion forum, but it is necessary to meet you via other uh, so your query in more personalized way or more direct. To get your queries to ourselves, just do one thing. Just write your query to box, either by using YouTube or you are using Facebook, whatever medium you are using. Just share your query in that chat box, and we will be able to with this and then we will address your query. So now I am handing over the mic to Rajesh Simulti sir. Welcome, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Lokesh. Welcome, dear learners. Welcome in the new live interaction session in the second cycle of year 2024. Dear learners, we have reached up to 8th week. I think ninth week is launched today. That is the research paper writing. What we learned so far, as Lokesh said, we have gone through the basics of academic writing, English in academic writing, research ethics, plagiarism aspect, targeting journals with the help of journal metrics, author metrics, and this is the part of the research methodology subject of most of the pre-PhD courses. Then we studied the literature review, how we should do the literature review. That is the foundation of our research. And then we learned how to use the literature management tools by the Mendeley, Enno, Jotaro. Are we using it? Are we capable to use these management tools effectively? These questions must be asked as the learning outcome. It is utmost essential that we benchmark our learning. बहुत जरूरी है कि जो हम सीखें हम ये नापें कि हम असेस करें अपने को हम कहां पर हैं. Practice it. We covered literature review, that's why in 2 weeks, and thereafter we covered the review paper writing in the last. Once you have done with the literature review, whether you are pursuing the PG dissertation, you doing this work for PG dissertation, or you are doing for PhD work, the first priority along with your research work is preparing review articles, review papers, and that too under the guidance of your mentor, collaborator, or experts of that particular field. देखिए समय, the time is the most important variable of your entire research work. If you don't follow the time schedule, obviously you will be lagging behind. You can't expect your work to be done completely for starting your academic writing work. Even I suggest to the PhD students to write their introduction and literature review within the first year of your research work. And that literature review can be utilized and should be utilized for preparing the review paper article. At the 11th moment, it is not going to be dropped from somewhere that okay, you got it and you had the idea and you are going for the review paper article, and no publisher is ready to publish it in on time. Yeah, Joseph, welcome. How can we go time with respect to introduction literature? Yeah, if we say that introduction and literature review, when I'm talking about, you are actually finalizing your work, that what exactly you are going to do in the part of literature review. You are going to identify your problem. So as a standard rule, within 6 months you must do all your basic literature review, because the literature review is an unending process. You have to keep it up till the end of your research work. But whatever the updated review you have collected, compiled, you must critically analyze it, summarize and synthesize it in the form of review paper or that chapters of introduction literature review. Supervisors may not have the ample of time all at once for going through each and every chapter of your PhD work. भैया एक बार आप PhD का फिनिश कर लिए तो सुपरवाइजर आपका सारा काम एक साथ समय पर कर दे, ये संभव नहीं, चेक कर दे आप. So what you have to plan, that you write the introduction chapter, literature review chapter. This we are going to discuss in the thesis writing, especially in the coming weeks. Now, planning the review paper article must be done up to 1 year of first year of at the end of the first year, up to the end of the first year of your research work. And for if you are doing the PG dissertation, obviously you must do it within 3 months, because correspondingly you can see that particular time. Because it is not the task which you are going to do in one single setting. एक single setting में नहीं होने वाला. You have to devote the time for it. And that too along with your research work. जो भी आप execute कर रहे हैं research, जो lab में कर रहे हैं, उसके साथ साथ आपको काम करना पड़ेगा. Separate आपको time नहीं मिलने वाला है. And if you skip doing this thing in the beginning of your research work, obviously you are going to miss the chance. At the end of the research work, you will be focusing only onto the review papers, only onto the research paper part, not the review papers. You will skip this opportunity. And along with the review, initial task is to prepare for publication of the preliminary research work or preliminary research that whatever you have got in the form of maybe short communication, short research paper, mini research. It is not mandatory in the same way as in the research paper that you write or every time a full research article or full original article. You can write the review article, the mini review also, as we have discussed in the last week, and get it checked. Because when you are preparing a review, actually you are validating your literature review written in your for your thesis or dissertation time. And also for the scientists who are working on a particular domain of the research work, the brainstorming is initiated and give rise to wonderful ideas on which the various work can be done, or the light can be thrown on that particular topic. This only is done by the help of the review paper writing or writing the literature review. You have to make your own timetable, time schedule for following, for preparing review paper, literature review. Because until you set a particular timeline for yourself, you are not going to achieve it. We have to make the timetable, and we learn this thing from class one. That yes, we have the timetable and we are following it. We must have some benchmark. We must have some, clock associated with our work. Otherwise, we will lose the tempo. We will lose the train. We will lose the train of success. Timing is utmost important, because it is not easy. ऐसा नहीं होने वाला भाई कि पेपर भेजा और बस accept हो गया. There are rejections, lot of rejections you have to face. It is not like your PG dissertation or PhD, which is 99%. Whenever you are submitting, it is going to be accepted and you are going to clear it. Research and review are actual mirror of your work. They are validating your work. If you are having the international paper, that's why at the time of submission, a paper is required so as to have the peer review with the peers, with the experts of that particular field. It makes the reviewing easier. That yes, it is published in a particular reputed journal, it means it has got some value. Moreover, it improves your confidence on a particular arena, particular domain of the work. तो अभी क्या करना है? टाइम शेड्यूल बनाना है कि नहीं, इतने टाइम में मुझे रिव्यू बनाना. देखिए, nobody is going to give a hard timeline. A particular administrator or a supervisor, you have to make it for yourself, because you require it. Review papers have many advantages. Citation बहुत मिलेंगे. You will get lot of citations. Your H index is going to be improved. But unlike the research, it is a challenging task. आपको पता है review paper एक बहुत challenging task है बनाना. And moreover, it is expected to be written by the experts only. So that's why, as a research scholar, as a student, you must not try independently. I'm not saying that you don't write the review. You write it, but under the expert guidance of your supervisor or the expert of the field. And he or she must be a co-author, or preferably the corresponding author. This is the key. Most of the quality journals don't accept the review articles without invitation. आपको invitation मिला हो तभी आपका वो लेंगे, उसके अलावा वो लेते ही नहीं, because it is expected to be written. They invite only the experts. So Nusrat, welcome. Nusrat is saying, good morning, sir. If you are unable to find literature based on our topic, what should be done in that case? Can we include the article published in newspapers? Nusrat, when we are talking about the field of sciences or life sciences, it is mandatory to get the literature from the research papers, review papers, or scholarly publications. It may be even from books, but not from newspapers, because newspapers are not reliable source of information. Okay. Maybe in arts and humanities, some aspect may be quoted, but not made. They, even in that case, they can't be made the basis of the research. आप basis नहीं बना सकते उसको research का. The least priority should be given for citing the newspaper. सबसे कम तवज्जो आप दें अब newspapers को cite करने के लिए. अब मुझे नहीं लगता कि इतनी जरूरत पड़नी चाहिए. कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ आपको जरूर मिलेगा, which is going to make your basis. Ask your supervisor, ask your collaborator, ask the persons who are working on that particular field. If you are not getting it, maybe you are missing something. Maybe you are missing some keywords on the basis of which you can search the previous work done. Until you are doing entirely new work, or maybe some work which is very specific, some cultural ethos or cultural things, it might be the reason. There are the reasons, as I told you, that in our region, that in Uttarakhand, that the Ramman, basically Ramayana version is it Ramman. These kind of work, the people who are working on the Ramman or that Pandav Nritya, kind of cultural heritage like things, the persons, the students who are working on this particular arena, particular domain, they don't get enough literature in the form of publications. Very few they will get, because it's a kind of regional issue, and the person who are working on that particular field, very super specialized field it is. Yes. It may not be a hot topic, but yes, it is related to the cultural heritage, so they may get a less number of papers for reference. I agree on those things. But like Ramman, I also mentioned in our in and around Joshimath in Chamoli district of Uttarakhand, it's a cultural heritage. It's a world heritage declared by the UNESCO. Now we have to work on these fields. So we have to ask. We can ask the experts who are working on that particular field. If you are getting a less number of literature, they will be in condition to give you the expert advice regarding the source of literature or the literature which you can cite for your reference of for that particular field. So this is the key. Okay, I think you might have got your answer. आई एग्री. देखिए, मैं मानता हूँ कई जगह दिक्कत होती है जब आप ऐसे स्पेशलाइज फील्ड पे काम कर रहे हो, अपनी लोकलाइज पॉपुलेशन पे काम कर रहे हो, लोकलाइज प्रॉब्लम पे काम कर रहे हो, तो ऐसा संभव है कि आपको कम लिटरेचर के मिले, आपके पास कम, आपके पास वो मिले, रेफरेंस मिले. उसके लिए तरीका वही है, उस फील्ड में काम करने वाले व्यक्ति से संपर्क करें, संपर्क साधें एंड गेट द थिंग्स, उनसे एडवाइस लें. ही और शी द एक्सपर्ट would be in the best condition to guide you regarding the probable source of information or the quality papers on those particular field or the related field. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I would be happy that if we get the space in the acknowledgement. Okay. Thank you, Joseph, and best of luck for future endeavors. And I ask or I request all the learners to excel in the academic writing in their best capacities. And don't go for the numbers. I always quote, number doesn't matter. Might be in the race of numbers of publication, you may lose the quality. No matter the circumstances may be. Never ever lose your academic integrity. We must stick to the principles, ethics, values of our professor. Especially ethics in publications must be guarded. Neither we will do nor we will allow our student to do this thing. And for that, the awareness must be disseminated among our students. देखिए, बताना पड़ेगा. स्टूडेंट को नहीं पता है कि क्या गलत है क्या सही. आप एक शिक्षक हैं तो बताएं अपने स्टूडेंट को. आप स्टूडेंट एक स्कॉलर हैं, आप कर रहे हैं, अपने साथियों को बताएं कि भैया ये गलत चीज है, ये गलत चीज है. ज्यादा नंबर से नहीं होगा. अच्छे तरीके सीखें, आप हेल्दी तरीके सीखें कि आप अच्छे पब्लिकेशन कैसे पढ़ें. इट इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट द नंबर. इन दिस वीक वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन. रिसर्च पब्लिकेशंस के लिए जो मैंने अभी ऑन किया है, वीक को जो लॉन्च किया हमने. Research paper, everyone is dying for the publication research paper in the quality journals. The first aspect is your work. What is the work? What is the quality, depth, and the novelty of your work? Assessing your work. Overvaluation or undervaluation of your work may be troublesome. अपनी कार्य की कुशलता को, अपने कार्य की नोवेल्टी को, अपने रिसर्च वर्क की नोवेल्टी को असेस करें. अच्छा जर्नल को टारगेट करना. First is the quality of your research work, what new you have done. Second, targeting the journal, suitable journal, relevant journal, and with respect to the impact, speed and reach of that particular journal, उसको टारगेट करना. फिर उसके अनुसार मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट को बनाना, which we are going to discuss in this week. मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट बना रहे हैं तो खाली रिजल्ट को सीधे इन्फ्रेंस और रिजल्ट में अंतर होता है. इन्फ्रेंस हम लिखते हैं ना अप टू +12 स्टैंडर्ड, intermediate standard we are just seeing that oh smoke is coming, then chloride group is present, that's okay, our result is like that. Now if that is not result, actually it is inference only. Now we have to elaborate this inference and make it result form. We have to discuss the result. That is the discussion part. That makes the most crucial part of research field. Introduction has got its importance in the sense of cohesion and coherence, as we discussed in the week 2. Whether we are able to give a story, the beautiful connection, the wonderful connection, the impactful connection with respect to the grammatical aspect or with respect to the rhetorical idea, that rhetorical level. Sentence level linking, cohesion. Rhetorical linking or idea level linking, coherence. Remember this thing? That we have to follow in the manuscript. We can't jump from one topic to the next level topic, very advanced level topic in just one step. We have to maintain that sequential flow. Make this scientific story impactful. Last lines of introduction giving the actual problem definition or problem, what you are going to do in that particular paper. Then you are starting with the methodology, going for the result. This we are discussing in this particular week, that how we can make it more effective and impactful. Many times students do the mistake that they just copy the things of methodology and put it in the methodology section. What happened? That they had written in the synopsis that yes, this thing will be done, this thing will be characterized, and the same sentence is there. Actually, you know very well in methodology, whether you are writing for the manuscript of a research paper or you are writing for the research paper, you must write in past tense or past perfect tense. Simple things sometimes skipped. Just follow the actual sequence of presenting the things. And it is not like that result and discussion are always last. In many journals I have seen, or you might have seen, that immediately after the introduction the result and discussion comes, and then the methodology is later. There are journals. You can't say that your sir has told that IMRAD is the standard format, only IMRAD is like introduction, methods, result and discussion. No, sometimes it is introduction, result and discussion, and then methods. There are the journals, especially some European journals, they practice this aspect. You can't do referencing in the same way in which the IMRAD format is done. If introduction, result, discussion, then methodology is coming, then you have to reshuffle the references if you are planning for a new journal. And if you are using the literature management tools, remember the thing, it is easier to go for the new journal if you get rejection from a particular journal for your manuscript. Yeah, Nusrat, thank you. That is in Mendeley or any other reference manager, how to manage reference in case we have only link and no PDF. No, it is not like that in Mendeley. If even if you are getting the citation information in Mendeley, there is not, this is, it is not mandatory that you are having the entire PDF for that thing. If the citation, because it is the citation which is only linked, it may be complete access. It is not mandatory that you are having the complete access to that particular article with PDF, isn't it? Lokesh, if you want to add something. Lokesh, I think,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. In case of Mendeley, you have two options when you install Mendeley on your desktop. One, you so Mendeley citation will be used when you are writing your things. When you have a link and you open that link in your Chrome, and then you will import that reference, or like the source. It can be a research article or a book link of that particular page where the research article or the book or the blog. So the web importer, what it do, it imports your link to your Mendeley library, and it will add that link to your Mendeley library. So if you have any link which you want to import to your Mendeley library, just open that link, use Mendeley importer, install Mendeley importer from Chrome store or Firefox store or whatever browser you are using. All have these type of extensions. So just install that extension, Mendeley importer. You can also also install that Mendeley importer from your desktop version of Mendeley also. Okay, so it requires just the login once into your account, and then it will add that link to your Mendeley library. So this is just a simple way to add. If you don't have PDF, you can do this.
Good. So, any query from other learners and friends? I would like
Uh,
to, yeah, Lokesh, कुछ कह रहे हैं?
uh, so far we have covered all the queries, and
Yeah, I would
most
like
of the
to
queries are from the
recall.
literature.
I would like, I would like to let you know that we have also launched the entire course in the form of podcast. So I request all the learners to enjoy the podcast also, and that AW podcast simulty, tiny.cc forward slash tiny AW podcast simulty, and it is also there in your announcement email. The link is also available there. Enjoy this thing, complete your quiz on time. Don't wait for the 11th hour. Okay, the technical glitches may be there due to the you know, the rush there, last time rush there, the server may be down. So never ever wait for the last moment when you are submitting your quiz. And I would like to add one more information, that please be assured that the exam registration, whenever it will start, we will inform you, and it is going to be started not before the end of the course. When the course is on the last week, thereafter only the exam registration will start. So most probably we are expecting it in the October third week. So let's hope and that the exam dates will be finalized in and around that. But before that, आपको क्या करना है, अपनी क्विज पूरी करनी है कंप्लीट, ठीक है, क्योंकि इंटरनल, इफ यू वांट complete your quiz, you won't be able to get the certificate even if you have passed the proctored exam. अगर आपने एग्जाम भी पास कर लिया, आपने इंटरनल में कुछ नहीं परफॉर्म किया है, नहीं आया आपका मिनिमम 40% नहीं आया, तो देन यू वोंट बी एबल टू गेट द सर्टिफिकेट. ये बात ध्यान रखिएगा, क्लियर. एंड you can practice the self assessment questions there. and there are so many extra links which we have provided, extra sources which we are providing. And remember, I'm going to give you uh, yeah, one more that assign one subjective assignment we are Nusrat, we are also going to give in the coming week. That would be easier rather. So first subjective assignment, if you have done, wonderful. The assignment means even the weekly quizzes are also kind of assignment, you can say. They are put together, they are taken. So we will be launching the second that assignment soon, because the 31st August was the last date. So we have kept we have kept the sufficient time for the learners to complete all the quizzes. So that's why we're waiting for the closing of the enrollment. And I'm happy that we are around 9,500 learners for this uh, cycle of the academic writing course. I'm very happy, and all the credit goes to my learners, that you are making it successful, you are making the learning successful, you are making the full utilization of the Government of India's Ministry of Education's efforts to take the education available for everyone at their own convenience. So not only do this, न केवल कीजिए, औरों को भी बताइए कि यहाँ ये भी चीज अवेलेबल है. You can share the things, you can share the values, you can share this knowledge, no issue. What we require is that just respect the IPR. Don't share the PDF and all the in your own personal channel or in any other journal publicly. Okay, please respect the IPR and the copyright. With this, I would like to take your permission for closing the session with request to follow the time schedule of the course and the deadlines which are mentioned in the announcement of the course. Okay? And we and our along with the Dr. Lokesh, discussion forum moderators are also being monitored by Dr. Rashmi and some more discussion forum moderators. So who are there to help you out, I think Dr. Rashmi, who has been the topper of the first cycle, is also helping us in the discussion forum portal. So whenever you are having any query, just to wait for the live interaction only. Okay, the live interaction is just for your convenience. We are doing it. Otherwise, discussion forum is the only way where you can put your queries to get the answers within 24 hours. You'll get all the answers. And even your peer learning will be there. Your fellow learners will be available for you to help. So with this, uh, we would like to conclude our live interaction and request you all to join the course, spare the time for the videos, for the PDF, and for the extra material, whatever we are providing. Thanks a lot with this, and thank you, Dr. Lokesh, for
Thank you, sir.
hosting the live interaction event. Over to Lokesh for conclusion.
So thank you all the participants. Thank you, sir, for your valuable information. Thank you all the participants for their queries and for their patience listening to us. And if you have any query, as sir said, you can post your query to our discussion forum. Go through our podcast channel. It might be very for anyone of if you are having any trouble with your internet system or any application based issue with the SWAYAM application, then you can also go through the content, as we have already shared it as audio in the podcast channel. And happy Teachers Day to all of you in advance. Thank you. So signing off now. Thank you all for
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank you, sir.
शिक्षक दिवस की शुभकामनाएं.
Thank you, sir.